Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Hello, how are you? I'm Chris. Oh, I better put myself on the screen here. I am, where am I? Hold on, hold on. I swear, I swear I am here. I am here. Hello, hello, there I am. Hello, welcome to Have a Tea with me. That camera's a bit high, isn't it? This is Lesson Jigsaw. Thank you for joining us. Let's see if I can fix that up a little bit. Okay, this is Lesson Jigsaw. This is Have a Tea with me. We are here to to help you practice your English. If you're an English language student or someone just learning English and wants to practice English, I'm here for you. We can practice your speaking, practice conversational skills, all for free. A little bit hot that water still. We're having a blueberry tea today. I love blueberries in general anyway, but the tea we're having today is a blueberry tea. So if you've got a cup of tea, cheers. Hope you're enjoying a cup of tea as well. If you wish to come on and have a conversation with us, all you need to do is click on the link in the comments or in the chat, and you can come on through to the studio here, and you can have a chat with us. We're live. We're here now, and we're here for conversations. If you're on, where are we? You can, at the moment, you can see us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, I believe. You can see us on Twitter. But certainly, you should, if you want to practice English, we're here for you to practice English. What day is today? Let's see. It's the 7th of February. 7th of February, it's a Monday. In most places in the world, it's the 7th of February, not everywhere. I think it's basically New Zealand, excluding New Zealand and some of the Pacific Islands. It's not Monday, the 7th of February, but as a general statement, we can say it's the 7th of February, 2022. How are you? 2022. Same way of saying the same thing, or different way of saying the same thing. It's all right. That's a delicious cup of tea. That's a delicious. I encourage you, if you enjoy your cups of tea, by all means, grab a cup of tea and come and have a chat with me. There's a nice bit of rhyming there. So we're here to talk. We're here for you to talk. If you wish to come on through. How long are we here for? Is a good question. I don't know. It depends on how many people are here, if people are participating and that sort of thing. So it's like, if you like, it's like a teacher waiting in the classroom, see if anyone's going to show up today. So it's conversational, so it's quite relaxed. Just here to I guess enjoy each other's company and see what comes up in the conversation. I always find that's the best way. Let conversations develop and flow naturally. So how are you today? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Don't forget to let me know as well if I'm speaking and you can't understand what I'm saying. By all means, let me know, because I understand it can be very confusing and very difficult to sometimes to get what people are saying. when they're speaking English for lots of different reasons. The way that we drop some sounds, join words together, connect the words, connect the sounds of the words when we're speaking. And I guess this is in probably every language. When you're speaking naturally, speaking fluently, you tend to join sounds, speak quicker, speak naturally. I guess it is, isn't it? So if there are some things that I say and you're not sure about, let me know. Let me know. If you happen to catch this on the replay and you want to participate, but for example, maybe now is not the best time, whatever time it is that you are in the world. So we're on for this program, if you like, at 12 o'clock Universal Time. 12 o'clock Universal Time, more or less the same as Greenwich Mean Time in general. So, but we are available to do other live stream conversation classes. So if you're following us on Facebook, or on Twitter, I guess you can send us a message. But or the alternative way, if you just want to send an email, there's the email on screen now, chatonlessonjigsaw@gmail.com. You can send us an email, and we can hopefully find a time. There are some people and places that I've chatted to. It's a bit more difficult to find the right, or let's say a mutual time that we can speak, because some people obviously are working or have classes or just whatever tasks they need to do. It's hard to find a time, because it's perhaps the only time they're available is like very early or very late in the day. So I guess some days are luckier than others for some people. While we are waiting to see if anyone is coming today, let me get rid of that. While we're waiting, this is well, it's a photo, isn't it? quite clearly, it's a photo. What I thought we would do while we're waiting to see if anyone comes today is we'll chat about seasons and what we think about when we talk about different seasons. Now, what season do you think this photo represents? And that's funny. When I was looking at photos for this, it was interesting because it very much seemed to be, I guess, because when you think of seasons, I guess the easiest way to represent a season is from the weather, the outside, the nature. And I guess that's how seasons come about. Of course, there are different seasons for different things, apart from, I guess, the weather. You can have different seasons for things with fruit and vegetables, produce, and that sort of thing. I guess they're connected to the weather, but I'm not 100% if it always is always connected to the weather. For example, I think there are some crops that produce all the way through the year, so it seems to be unaffected by the weather. It could also be dependent on the climate and that sort of thing. Anyway, so what season is this, would you say? And I don't know. This is probably the one that most people. I guess there's two seasons that most people are familiar with, but quite clearly, I think we would have to say this is winter, for two reasons. You can see the white and the snow So I guess we have the idea of cold, and I guess that's the thing we most associate with. Um, thing we most associate with winter is the cold temperature. And so if you are feeling the cold, what do you do? Certainly in the picture, this lady, she's rugged up, we could say. She's very rugged up. Let me just get that down to be rugged up. Let me see this. There we go. So to be rugged up. So I think she's very rugged up because we can tell from what she's wearing. She looks like she's got very, very thick gloves. She's wearing like a turtleneck type of a jumper, and I guess it's a jacket or a coat of some sort. What's the difference between a jacket and a coat? As far as I'm concerned, if this is the official definition, I'm not sure, but as far as I'm concerned, a jacket tends to go to around the hips, and a coat goes further down. A lot of coats, I think, probably go sort of halfway between the knee and the hip, so like even a little bit further down, or even lower. I've seen other coats that go to the knee or past the knee, even even down to the bottom of the shin, so like the front part, just where coming to meet the foot from the front of the leg. So this person is certainly rugged up. So it's a very, very cold situation. Now, I guess the thing to think about, the whole point of this sort of a session is for you to practice. So if you come on, I would like you to tell us, what do you associate with different seasons? What do you associate with winter? So certainly when I think of winter, I think of cold weather, putting on warm clothes, having a heater or a fire close by if I can. But certainly if not, it's certainly a time where you would wear warm clothes, or certainly lots of layers of clothes. So how do you practice that? So you can talk about that, you can write about that. And I think that's the most important thing here, is that we try and practice something. So speaking and writing, I think, is very important. Writing sentences, if you can, is a very good option, a very, very good option. So I certainly encourage you to do that. Let's have a look at the next photo and see, what season do you associate with this? Well, it's clearly not winter anymore, so we'll take that away. It's clearly not winter. We see lots of flowers. It's like looks like it's in a park or I would say a forest, certainly a garden, probably too many flowers neatly placed and lined up to be a forest, I would say. So certainly very much probably a garden, I would say. This is more likely to be a garden of some sort. What do you think? You say this is like a public garden, perhaps? Like a garden, maybe like a botanical type of gardens. And so what season would you associate with this? For me, I'm going to say spring. So I guess we're going in order here of the seasons. So this is, and I guess when we think of spring, we think of again, I guess we associate nature. But certainly, I guess wherever you are, it could also be a case of, when you associate, or when a particular season comes, you think of, perhaps there are some events that happen around that particular season of the year. And of course, in different hemispheres, you're going to have different seasons at different times, opposite. And so you may have different festivals and different foods and the way that you celebrate could also be very different in those seasons. So this is spring. So I would certainly associate flowers starting to, the buds of the flowers, like little bits of the actual flower bit, the petals and stuff, starting to come out, starting to bloom, getting ready to, I guess, show the beauty, what we would generally associate as the beauty of the flower when we think of the petals and the brightness starting to come out, and that's certainly spring. And I guess that's where we also get the expressions like to spring into life. Now, certainly spring is like a movement as well. But also, if we spring into life, I guess that's sort of associated as well, sort of like a newness and awakening of sorts when we think of spring. Because I don't know, what do you think? I guess when we think of winter, we think of like some of the animals hibernating, and so you probably don't go out as much or don't do as much, doing more things at home or inside. And then when spring is coming, suddenly everything becomes more open. So there's more sun, there's more brightness, more aliveness, if you like. In the world and around in your world. So certainly I think that's a way that I would consider spring. What do you think about spring? What do you associate with spring? Is there any particular food that you have when it's spring? Is there any particular clothes that you wear when it's spring? I guess the clothes are very different when we move from winter to spring. It's starting to warm up. I know in some places spring still may not be as warm as we want it to be. So some people still are still rugged up, if you like. Some people still wear maybe thinner jumpers or still wearing layers like they would in winter, but less layers. So maybe in winter, they may wear 4, 5, maybe even 6 layers. If they're wearing socks, maybe they have like 2 pairs of socks on. And then when you get into spring, maybe only 1 pair of socks. And then who knows, when you get into the next season, maybe nothing, maybe walking around barefoot or something like that. So tell me, what do you associate with the season of spring? Okay, so just a reminder of who we are, what we're doing. My name is Chris. This is Lesson Jigsaw. Have a tea with me is the name of this. And I certainly encourage you to go and have a cup of tea. I'm drinking blueberry tea today. I'm enjoying it. It's a beautiful taste. It's a beautiful taste. It's a lot of the teas, some of the red teas always seem to be a bit stronger for me. So they're more distinctive flavors. And so this is a place, hopefully a relaxed environment for you to come and practice English, practice speaking English, practice having a conversation in English. And so we invite you, there's a link in the comments or in the chat to come and have a conversation with us, and we invite you to come and have a conversation. Now, at the moment, I'm talking about the seasons because I'm generally I'm talking to myself in general. But certainly, if you would like to come on now, we can talk about whatever. It's very flexible like that. Very flexible like that. But certainly, if you have a particular topic that you'd like to talk about, this is what we're here for. So as I say, I'm just talking to myself at the moment, which is always a strange thing to do. I guess we talk to ourselves inside, but outside is a stranger thing to stranger thing to do. But yeah, certainly, if you want to join us, click on the link. You can send us an email, chatonlessonjigsaw@gmail.com. If this is not the best time for you, we can arrange some other time to have a streamed conversation class and practice our conversation and speaking skills through there. So certainly, it's an open invitation for you, and we do welcome if you would like to join. We're here every day, Monday to Friday at least, at 12 o'clock Universal Time. Okay. So what we've done, we saw winter and we saw spring. So clearly, I guess this is the next season. What do you think it is? Okay, yes, summer. It's funny. If you go into to Google or whatever search engine, and you, particularly if you look at images, and if you search the word summer, it's really interesting how not all, but I reckon 70, maybe 80% of the photos have a beach or water, or swimming or something associated with that. Here you've got the classic stereotype of the palm trees, the beach. This looks like an island, maybe a tropical island. You've got the shoreline. You've got crystal clear water. This is a spectacular place. Where it is, I don't know, but certainly it's quite a spectacular place to be swimming. If I had the opportunity to spend summer, or perhaps not even summer, even I think this sort of a place I would enjoy even in the winter time. And I guess it depends on the location. I know, because we were talking about winter, and I think there are, of course, some places where they don't really have winter. If there are some places where they don't really have summer, I'm not sure. I guess if you're talking about the two poles, like the Arctic and Antarctic, I suppose they won't really have, well, I don't know. I don't know if they really have a summer. I guess perhaps maybe if they have a difference between summer and winter is perhaps in terms of the daylight. That's probably the biggest difference. I guess before, when we were talking, we would say we think of the winter as the cold. And I guess when we think of summer, we think of hot. But certainly perhaps in some countries, in some areas, the winter is associated with no sunlight at all. All the time is like a nighttime, if you like, complete darkness. And of course, the opposite may be that in the summertime, it's just daylight all the time. So it could be like 3 o'clock in the morning, and it could just be, exactly the same as 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And I guess it's for the body and for the body clock. I guess that could be a very difficult thing to handle. That sort of a situation. Certainly needs a lot to acclimatize to that. I don't know. I don't have that experience what it would be like, but I think it would be somewhat difficult. But I think in a place like this, where it was more of the warmer weather, depends how warm, but if it's more of the warmer weather all the time, well, you still have nighttime, but you still have generally during the daytime warmer weather, maybe like a rainy season or rainy patch during the day, but generally a warmer climate. I think that would be very, very interesting. What do you think? What do you think? So remember, I'm just here talking to myself at the moment, but we certainly welcome you to come on, have a conversation, chat about the seasons like I'm looking at today, or we can talk about other topics. It's a pretty open forum. It's a pretty open forum. So whatever you'd like to talk about, if you're interested in practicing English, practicing speaking English, like I mentioned, click on the link in the chat or in the comments, and you can come on through, and we can practice speaking, practice having a conversation. Why? You may say, why, Chris? Why would I come on there and practice a conversation? Well, it's up to you, but I look at it as an opportunity. A lot of my students, a problem is that they don't often practice English outside of the classroom as such, and particularly of course, it depends on where they are, but they don't always have authentic type situations. And while this may be not the most authentic type, so if we're talking about, I don't know, someone's work and they're working, let's say, in the medical profession. Now, it's an authentic conversation because I don't know, so perhaps you would need to explain to me about different things about the profession, if that's indeed what you wanted to talk about. But certainly if we're doing things like role playing and that sort of thing, it is role playing, but certainly we could also be doing some real playing if that's the case, and we can practice a scenario that comes up in your work, or perhaps if you're planning on traveling, or you encounter people and you need to, or you would need to communicate in English to have a conversation with them. And that's why we're here. So basically to give you an opportunity to practice English, talk English. Yeah, and that's pretty much it, isn't it? If you're linked on our Facebook page as well, there is the opportunity to write. I've started. Let's see, it's only the beginning. I have started to put some posts, but no real interaction yet. I say yet because I hope in the future there will be more. But I think it's really important, if people are studying English, or want to improve English, or want to practice English, it's great to listen. It's great to watch movies, and maybe like you're thinking, oh yeah, I can listen to his voice. I can understand him. That's great. That is fantastic. But there's no getting around that. You need to produce. You need to speak. You need to speak English. You need to write English, and there's no skipping that practice. There's no way to avoid it. You can read a lot, read a lot, listen to podcasts, listen to songs, watch TV shows, go to the theater, watch some English plays and that sort of thing. Lots and lots of things you can do. Read magazines, lots and lots of things you can do to receive English. But at the end of the day, if that's all you want to do, and that's how you enjoy English, okay. But if you want to interact with people, if you want to ask something, if you want to later request some type of information, maybe it's you need to know how to get somewhere, or how much something costs, or just some details about maybe the history of something, or just want to know about a person, about their life, how they're feeling, their interests, that sort of thing. You can't avoid needing to speak and to produce. So I'll say speak or write. And I see a lot of people, a lot of students, they go, oh, I only want to speak outside of the classroom when I'm ready, when I've got my level up to a certain ability. And that's probably too late. I would say the time when you get to the point where you feel really confident and competent, it's probably going to be a while, and you're probably wasting years, I would say, by waiting for that perfect time. That's never ever going to be perfect, because when you do try and produce, it's still the first time or the second time, and it's still, with anything, it takes confidence and it takes practice. That's the same with me here. Yeah, me being here on a live stream. Am I the most professional? Well, I would say absolutely not. But it's one of those things where I'm learning as I'm going, and and this is exactly the same as what I encourage you for your speaking practice, in particular here with the live streams, is if you can take the time, maybe you go, oh, I'm not really confident, but maybe I can come and try and speak for a minute or 2 minutes, or just say hello, how are you, where are you from, and just have a very basic first meeting type conversation. No problem. No problem. If that's a way of building confidence, that's the way to do it. But there's no getting around needing to actually practice. You have to actually. No one can practice for you. You know what I mean? That's the curious thing, isn't it? So I encourage you. The opportunity is there. Like you can probably see at the bottom, you can send us an email, chatonlessonjigsaw@gmail.com. There is that. There is the email there if you'd like to come on and arrange a time. If this particular time is not the greatest for you, send us an email. We can try and arrange a time to find a time to live stream another conversation class with you. You can send us a message on Facebook. You can, what else can you do? I guess that's sort of about it, isn't it? I guess, yeah, if you leave a message or a comment, that sort of thing. Subscribe on YouTube, and I guess write messages and that sort of thing. It's a way of interacting, and I guess if you do that, at least the positive thing is that at least you're practicing some type of production, some type of communication. I strongly encourage you to practice more than typing one word. Don't just have a sentence where you're writing in one word into a blank space. I encourage you to write full sentences if you can. Maybe it takes, 30 seconds, 40 seconds compared to 5 seconds. So it's more time, but it's going to be better in the long run. It would make things happen faster, I guess we would say. Okay, so let's look at the final season here. Oh, I love this this picture of the summer here. Beautiful, beautiful. Where this is, I don't know. This could be maybe a place in the Caribbean somewhere, or maybe it's Southeast Asia somewhere, some islands. I don't specifically know, but wherever it is, I would like to be there. Okay, so let's look at the final season. I think there are only 4 everywhere. I know in different countries, the way they learn, I guess what we would call facts is different. Because I know, like, certainly in different countries, when they learn continents is different. Because some countries they learn there's 5 continents, other countries 6 continents, and other countries they learn there's 7 continents. So it's it's a curious thing, but I do think in every place, what they're learning is 4 seasons, I think. So even if you have a place that doesn't have that don't actually feel the season, I think they recognize the season. If I understand it correct, I could be wrong. Please tell me if I'm not right there. Okay, so thank you for joining us. And we, as I say, I've just posted the link again. If you do wish to come on and have a chat, please don't hesitate to click on the link, and you can join us here. Now, our final photo here for the season, and like I said at the beginning, when we think of seasons, I guess the easiest way to associate it is with nature and what's happening in nature, even though, of course, we could have things like food and clothes and that sort of thing. But yes, nature. And here, I guess the most obvious thing, so it's still quite sunny in this photo, at least, in this place. I guess the thing you notice is the color of the leaves. So the leaves have gone from, I guess, the normal green, and they've gone to like a yellow, brown type color, and the leaves have fallen from the branches onto the ground. And I guess this is the stereotypical idea of what we associate with this final season. I think a lot of people like this season as well. So I think maybe, like, for some, like, it's really summer, but certainly a lot of people love spring, and then also this final season, just because it's sort of in the middle. It's not too much of one or the other. And I think perhaps that's why people like autumn, or for in American English when they say fall, or the fall. And I guess fall it's easier to remember because it's very literal with the leaves falling down to the ground. But certainly you have then the trees very bare without the leaves, and that's when it goes on later, I guess, when we see the pictures of like places with snow and that sort of thing, as a more romantic sort of idea. But I think, yeah, a lot of people like to walk around in nature during springtime and autumn time. I guess that's when you really see the change. And maybe that's what people like a lot about those 2 seasons. They're actually seeing the change in nature. So perhaps they walk all the time and they see, oh, it's green, nice, pretty. But then when they go to the rest of the seasons, well, for autumn and spring, they see that change from nothing, from winter into something, with the green coming out, and then in the autumn going from the green to the brown, the yellow, and falling, and that sort of thing. A bit messy though, isn't it? It's a bit messy in autumn. Quite often when you're walking and then your shoes get all dirty, maybe a bit muddy and that sort of thing, where you've got it's a bit slippery, I think, in some cases, depending on the place. But it's a bit more messy when you've got all the leaves falling down and whatnot. a nice little expression. It's like etc. and whatnot. So tell me, what is your favorite season? What do you like? What season do you like? What season do you enjoy the most? I guess. And I guess maybe it doesn't always have to be the most. I guess, like we were saying before, I guess a lot of us can have uh, two different seasons that we really enjoy. So, like I was saying, people enjoy the autumn and the spring just because of that change. But a lot of people also like the extreme. Maybe they love things like skiing, or they enjoy having the uh, having the ability to make like a snowman or something like that in the winter. They love the wind coming through, or snowboarding or that sort of thing. I guess with the Winter Olympics on at the moment, so a lot of people might have winter on the mind. But then if you're in places in the southern part of the world, you could. I guess it's a different thing. You're more in a summer sort of atmosphere, so it's a bit different. Okay, so that's a lot of spring, summer, autumn, winter. Hello. Now you have to excuse me. I am not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm gonna see. I don't even know if it's worth having a guess. I'm not really sure. I probably could have a guess. No. See, the problem is, I guess, as an English speaker, I'm going to pronounce it the way it's spelt. But then I see like the accents, and I know there's going to be a change in the sound, so I'm gonna look silly no matter what I say. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. Not too bad. I've still got my cup of tea, almost finished. Almost need to get a refill, but I'm doing okay. How are you doing? It's I appreciate you coming on and interacting. It's a nice thing. We're starting small, starting slowly. Julie, okay. I feel I have a lot of this sometimes, particularly when I was teaching in London, when we would have students with English names. It would also be very curious what names they would pick. But certainly, Julie, nice to meet you. Where are you from, Julie? I'm going to guess from your name from Vietnam, but I'm not 100% sure. It could be from somewhere else. But nice to have you chatting on here, Julie. What we do encourage people is to speak and to write. I guess the main thing is we really want people to converse in English. It is really important that people are speaking and writing. So the idea is that people are practicing, and so if people are using that opportunity, that's a great thing. Okay, in Vietnam. Well, actually, no, I'm not where I am. I'm in Europe, so it's actually into the middle of the afternoon, very shortly. So I'm not sure. Maybe the background is a bit deceiving if it looks like morning, but it's midnight. Wow. Okay. And what do you do? What do you do, Julie? I have to say, I've only been to a few places in Vietnam. I did enjoy Vietnam. The main place where I went was Hanoi. I'm not sure what area you're in, was a fascinating place. What I loved about Hanoi, I'm not sure if this is everywhere in Vietnam, but what I loved about Hanoi is that there would be different places, particularly parks. I think it was parks or places where there were like walkways or benches, and you would have students more often than not, and they just come up and they would say, you know, we would like to practice some English. Can we speak with you? And and that was great. It was one of my favorite things about Vietnam was people just coming up and chatting and practicing their English. It was a beautiful thing, beautiful thing. And yeah, and so I had that quite a few times around different places in Hanoi. I went around a few other little towns, I guess we would say, or smaller cities. Um, and there was a couple times that happened, but not nearly as much as in Hanoi. I guess I'm not sure if it's something that happens um, in the schools where the teachers say go out and speak to people, go out and find like someone who looks like they're not um, they're not Vietnamese, or they look like they're a tourist or something, and go and see if you can have a chat to them. Maybe that's everywhere, or maybe not. I'm not 100% sure. Is that Nha Trang? I think is the pronunciation. Okay, I'm not. I have to say I'm not good with my geography, so I'm not 100% sure in my with my bearings, because I only really know the places that I went to and Ho Chi Minh City. So it's sort of like Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, and I sort of know a little bit. Was that Ha Long Bay? But I never went there. It seemed, I don't know. I tried to stay away from what would say the road most traveled. I guess it seemed very touristy. So I was quite happy just to go to more random places and just have an adventure and see what was there. And it was fantastic, fantastic. So you're a student, and what are you a student of, Julie? What do you study? Like I was saying before, as well, if you do want to come on and have a chat, practice your speaking, certainly I welcome the comments in the chat. But if you want to come and practice your speaking, certainly click on the link in the chat, and you can come on and and chat, practice your speaking. But certainly, um, yeah, I wonder what you're a student of. I wonder if it's a student of English or another subject. Lots and lots of subjects to study. I guess the question is as well, when you're studying, is it something you are enjoying? Is it something you're enjoying? Oh, okay, a high school student. There we go. Okay, so I guess it's not one subject; it's all of the subjects that you're studying. Okay, very nice, very nice. And I guess in high school, uh, okay, so you see the link. Okay, no worries. Yeah, I guess I should have pinned it to the top from the beginning there. Um, so, and what? I think I already asked, but what's your favorite subject? I guess this is the most common question. People always ask, "What's your favorite subject at school?" I guess there's two questions people ask. I imagine all the time. And I imagine this is the this has been the same through all of time. It's like, what's your favorite subject? and what do you want to be when you finish? Like maybe what do you want to study at uni, or what job do you want? I think always the questions that people ask, and I guess it's just natural curiosity that people want to know, even if it is very common and mundane. Oh, okay, you're interested in English, so you're studying on your own. Does that mean there's no English subject at school? That would be, I don't know. I had the impression that most schools they have English classes, but maybe not. Maybe I just assumed, and that's not right. So are you doing like your own studies, like from books and that sort of thing, or how are you studying? I guess on your own could mean on your own as in individually, or on your own as in away uh, from the school. Oh, okay. Like a machine. Like a machine. So at my school, we are not able, or it's not able for students to choose subjects. Oh, okay. And is that maybe I see? I wonder if that's in the. I remember this is quite a while ago, but when I went to high school, I think it was the first few years, and I know lots of countries have different setups, but in the first few years of high school, you couldn't choose anything. It was like you did all of the subjects, and sort of like it chopped and changed. So like maybe you did like a term of one subject and then change to another subject and another subject, and things like that. But it says you can't choose subjects. So does that mean? I guess that means that English is not a subject that they're teaching you. So that's that would be, well, disappointing, I guess, if you want to do that. But congratulations to you for taking the initiative. That's a great expression. Let's write it down. To take the initiative. To take the initiative. That means the so the students, or the school, I guess, no, the school isn't providing you with what you want there, and so you need to do the activities. You need to use your energy and your force to say, I'm going to study English, even if you're not providing me with that ability. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by we like a machine. Does that? I guess that just means that everything is, they sort of like, they just do everyone the same. Is that sort of the idea? I guess that it's all the same and they just give everyone the same, and there's no differentiation. Perhaps is what that means. So you study film, or from film and that sort of thing, live like this. Okay. So you study English on YouTube, and I hope I tell you what, Julie, it's great that you're on something like this, because we can communicate and chat, and this is, I guess, an English learning situation. I'm not sure. Do people do this in your country? Or it's like we do like an expression. So this is like an English learning situation. So it's sort of like a type of classroom environment, if you like. And certainly these are good things, I think, on YouTube and other places. So that's a great thing to have. But I also think it's a good thing, and maybe you do this as well anyway, because when you say you're talking about real English, if there are like other interests that you have, so maybe, I don't know, maybe you're interested in photography, or maybe you're interested in coding and that sort of thing, or maybe you're interested in engineering, or whatever it may be, or cooking, or painting, or who knows. I think also to actually participate in live streams or conversations about those sort of things is probably one of the most motivational things to do. So while this is like English conversation and practice, there you're doing the English conversation just because that's the way you need to chat. And so, but what you're actually doing is just doing something that you're enjoying, an activity that you're enjoying, and it just happens to be in English. And so you're using English in a very functional and useful way. I really think for anyone who wants to practice, that's one of the best things that they can do, because it's not just I'm in a place to learn English and learning English and practicing English. I'm practicing my artistic skills, or I'm practicing learning photography or how to take a photo or whatever it may be. And yeah, and so I think you get the point. I think that's from my compliment. That's my pleasure. Oh, okay. So everything the teacher gives you is the same lesson. So I guess it just means they give everyone the same thing. And I guess that's hard. I guess the problem as well there can be that maybe the teacher use an expression here. Maybe the teacher isn't given enough rope, or another thing we could say is leeway. It could be a case in some countries that what they do in some education systems, the curriculum and the way that they teach the students is very, very strict, in the sense of the teachers are told you have to do this, you can't make any changes, you can't, if you see and this is like through lots of schooling systems, like even where I grew up in Australia, there was quite often a lack of flexibility in terms of what a teacher can do. They have to follow it unless you're in particular schools, or they allow particular styles of teaching. And maybe it's focused on like what they would call like gifted children, so who are more, let's say, advanced in some things for their age. But it's the same thing, like a lot of this is like a classic theme that you'll see in many or some YouTube videos about learning, like with the Ken Robinson videos and that sort of thing, is there's a lack of allowance for creativity. And so if they're forced to teach everyone the same, maybe it's a case of maybe the teacher just doesn't want to do that, or not comfortable with that, or doesn't have the time for that. Or it could also be that the system doesn't give them enough rope, doesn't give them enough flexibility or leeway to do that. So that leeway could be the freedom to say, okay, for Julie, we're going to help her with art, because she's more interested in art than learning about science or whatever it may be, just as an example. And so we're going to do some activities over there for Julie studying art, and for Tony, we're going to do some more activities for physics or whatever. And for Rita, we're going to do some more activities for maths, because Rita's really interested in mathematics and that sort of thing. So it's a difficult thing in some way. Yeah. So I mean, it's certainly a great thing that you're practicing, and I like that you're writing sentences and that sort of thing, and using your own time is a very good thing. Like I said before, you're taking the initiative. That's a great thing. So tell me, what I don't know, what time do you have school in the morning, or is it school holidays now? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the school calendar is like where you are. How many hours do you sleep? For many hours? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember when I was at school. How many hours did I sleep? I think I would probably not too often would I actually really get, in high school anyway, would I really get to sleep before midnight. Some days, yes, but a lot of times not. Oh my. Oh my. School starts at 6:50. That's a curious thing, not even like a clear 7. It's like 6:50. Okay, 6:50. I guess maybe you have like a roll call, and have maybe like an assembly or stuff. So a roll call and assembly, where maybe they get all the students together, give announcements and that sort of thing. Perhaps, I don't know. So they start at 6:50 and it ends at 11. Wow. Is that end for the day, or you have a break? Because I know, like in some places, they have like a break. People go and have lunch, and then they come back sort of like for the afternoon session of school. So there's like two halves, like the morning half and the afternoon half. So what's that? That'll be like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 4 hours. 4 hours of school. Yes, yes, I can imagine you wake up like a zombie. You wake up like a zombie. Yes, I can. I can imagine. I wake up like a zombie. Okay, but I don't know if that's a good thing. So, what do you do with the rest of the day? Okay, so maybe that's just the way they do it. So, you go there. You've got like the 4 hours, give or take. I like that, give or take. I'm gonna just make a note of that. I like that sort of extra piece. Give or take. So like 4 hours, not exactly, but approximately. Approximately. So give or take, it's give or take. Okay, so you have to wake up. Oh, okay. So you have to wake up at 12:50 in the afternoon to start school again. Okay, so you do have the 2 halves. Okay, that makes a bit more sense then, because normally I guess you want like 7 hours or something of schooling, but you wake up. That means what? You fall asleep. You go home, sleep for an hour or so. I guess have something to eat maybe, or maybe eat, go to sleep, wake up, then go to school again. That's that's really interesting. Okay. See, because for us, we had you do that. Okay. All right. That's great. The for us, we would have around about what was it, an hour? I think it was an hour. we would have an hour for um, uh, lunch, and then go back to class. But our school time was from I can't remember. I think it was 8:30. I think 8:30 until 3 o'clock, and then you have an hour break for lunch. I'm pretty sure. It was 8:30, but in the first 30 minutes, you would have you have a roll call. You have like an assembly where they make the announcements, like I mentioned, and then they would do reading for most of the time. So you go to a room and you read a book or a magazine or whatever it is. Okay, so you sleep for an hour and then start again. Okay. I guess it's a different sort of rhythm. The body gets used to that particular rhythm. And so what are the subjects that you enjoy at school? Are there any subjects that you really enjoy or like, and try and, I guess, or naturally excel at? Because I guess there's two possibilities, aren't there? It's like there could be ones that you like and you do, maybe not always do as well, but you actually enjoy the subject and learning about those topics. And there's also subjects that you're just naturally good at, even if you don't necessarily enjoy them. I remember I studied, it was like economics at school, and I was okay at economics, and I sort of started to go along that path, but then I sort of realized, nah, not really interested in it though. Like I'm sort of okay at it, but not really my thing. Art, okay. And so in the sphere of art, what any particular type of art? So in the sphere of art, that's like in the area of art. What parts? So let's see. Let's move that up a bit if we can. Okay. So when we're talking about art, because there's lots of things with art these days, isn't there? There's because now there's more freedom in art than ever before, depending on, I guess, what's acceptable, because with the age of digitization, things like drawing and painting and that sort of thing is very much open to everyone. Scenario art, is that are we talking about landscapes, that sort of thing, with scenario art? Maybe, like, is that like painting or drawing, or maybe taking photographs of landscapes? Is that what you mean by scenario? Because in a general sense, a scenario is like a situation. So the scenario could be in a cafe, for example. So that you'd be taking that scenario, or the scenario could be in the rain, for example. There's another word as well. So let's move that up. So there's landscapes and scenery as well. So I mean, I'm drawing everything you see. Everything you see. Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Landscapes. Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, you're in a beautiful country for landscapes. I mean, I suppose it's true of every country, isn't it? Every country has some beautiful nature and landscapes, but certainly from what I've seen, it's very true in Vietnam as well. It's a very nice thing. And do you draw? Um, I don't I don't know how to say this. Do you draw like pencil to paper or pen to paper, or do you use charcoal? I'm not sure if you use charcoal, if that's still called drawing. I guess it is, because you could use the side of the charcoal, and also with charcoal, perhaps more than pencil, perhaps with pencil as well, you can smudge the uh, the thing that you're doing. So I guess you put like a mark, and then you, with your finger, you smudge to get like a different intensity, perhaps, of the color. So certainly, it's okay. There we go. Okay, so you use charcoal. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Wow, that's really nice. That's really nice. Hmm. You know, I think charcoal is quite interesting. I was trying to think, like, if it's okay. Oh, that makes sense. Well, it's all experimentation, isn't it? So that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, I think it's because anyway, it's what we always say. It's an artistic impression. So it's your impression of whatever it is that you're seeing. Yeah, I think I always wonder with charcoal, if it's I don't know how best it is to preserve, because like we were talking about, you can smudge with charcoal. I'm not sure. When you, or maybe it's the type of paper. I don't know. Maybe it's a type of paper that when it's on there after a certain amount of time, it, uh, there's no damage, if you like. It sets. Um, but I'm not sure. Like how do you keep or protect? I guess is the way. How do you protect your drawings from being damaged? I guess you have to put them in a particular type of folder or something, or maybe there's like a sleeve of something. I'm not sure if that's the actual word you call it, but certainly like if there's like a certificate or something that people have they want to protect, they'll put it like in a plastic sleeve commonly. So I'm not sure if that's the same with things like charcoal drawings. I often see um, art students where they've got that big um, folder, I guess, or case that they carry around with their um, drawings or pieces. Um, and so I do see that, but I'm not sure, like actually inside, if because I don't know if you put it in plastic, if that does um, bad or good to protect it. So I use plastic foundation to cover the canvas. Okay, so I guess that's like a sleeve or a cover of some sort. And that's okay. That's good. That's good. Wow. And how often are you drawing? I guess it's whenever, like, I guess this is actually probably a better question to ask. Do you draw just from what you see in terms of real life, or do you draw from photos and that sort of thing? Because I imagine, because I've seen that sometimes, like people, the same like with people when people do like people's faces and caricatures and stuff, they can do it from photos. So I wonder, do you only do it from things that you're actually witnessing with your eye live, so to speak, or do you do it with photos? I guess with photos, um, it's easier because you don't have to travel as much, and and these days as well, you have like webcams in lots of different places. How many are in nature? I guess it's more in the cities and stuff, isn't it? So maybe in some places for landscapes, um, it's not always the greatest, but certainly um, certainly for cities, that's a possibility. But I do wonder, like, if maybe there's got to be some webcams in nature. There must be, because in that way you could still look at a place. You're not there physically, but you're there live as as it is at that time. So I guess that's something to consider. Mm, mm. I have to say, I'm feeling I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, because you're, I don't know, you got class like in 6 hours. Um, so I used to cover the photo. Okay, have idea before try landscapes. Okay, okay. Yeah, I think that's sort of a natural way to do it, isn't it? To have, if you can't obviously go everywhere, so that's the way to get inspiration. Then you do your impression of that. So that's certainly a way to do it. Yeah. Okay, you contact. Okay, so I took that away, didn't I? There we go. What I would say, actually, I'll put this one up, is a better one. If you send an email to this email address, chatonlessonjigsaw@gmail.com, that comes straight through to me. And if there's like if you want to come on and do a live stream where you're practicing talking, you can send us a message there, and we can perhaps arrange a time that's a little bit better. So certainly you can send an email there. We can look at arranging a time. Otherwise, we're also on Facebook. So if you search Lesson Jigsaw on Facebook, you can see us there, and you can send a message through Messenger on Facebook as well. I guess are the two easiest ways to contact. But certainly, it's certainly a good thing. And on Facebook, what I'm hoping is people will do more writing practice. So similar to what you've done today on Facebook, people can hopefully start writing more sentences, and having, let's say, text type conversations and interactions. I really like it. Maybe this is the teacher in me. I understand people speak in brief ways sometimes, but I certainly think it's better when people use sentences, particularly when they're learning, just to practice those full sentences. but certainly that's a place there where we can do that. And so I guess I've saved YouTube because of the way it's sort of designed and set up and stuff. YouTube is more directly for the live streams and for people chatting and speaking and that sort of thing. So, like I say, if you like to contact us, certainly send us an email. Send us an email there, and we can organize something. Okay. All right, Julie. I think I'm going to go because I think you you probably need to go as well and have less of a zombie experience when you go to class today in your case. So thank you very much for joining us today. I'm glad that you're practicing English. If you're like I say, if you want to come on and actually practice speaking, you're welcome to do that. There'll be a new or a different what do you call that? A different link in the next chat. So again, here tomorrow, I'll be on from 1 o'clock, from 12 o'clock Universal Time. And you're certainly more than welcome to join. This is very open for everyone. Thank you for coming along. It's much better than me talking to myself. I can tell you that. It's much more fun to talk with other people. So it's been a pleasure having you here too. And like I say, if there are other times it's more convenient and practical, send us a message through on chat on lessonjigsaw@gmail.com, and we can perhaps arrange a time for another live stream where you can practice on there. All right, so that's where we're going to leave it for today. Thank you very much, Julie, and anyone else who's watching on the live stream and the replay. Have a great morning, have a great day, have a great afternoon, have a great evening, and keep practicing English. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, all that sort of stuff, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Take care. See you later.